Game's very quiet so far. I kind of think that maybe this game will start a musical cue from time to time. Hello? Hello? Goodbye? They're spinning around me. Oh. Where'd you go? Maybe through those holes? So they might get around through the holes, or just through walls, because they're maybe just ghosts or something. But interestingly, I've been looking at the audio files from this game, like when I'm making the videos and stuff like that. I noticed that it just goes silent a lot. I think it actually just starts a musical cue, and then the music just stops when it's over, which sounds like almost a logical thing, but video games actually don't normally work that way. It's a bit of a surprise. A lot of silent contemplation. Lots of paintings. Is that a sliced up fish with like weird little gouges cut out? Huh. Hello. Mine. That was a weird camera jerk right there. Oh, let me open the little box. It looks important. Ooh. You're the other half of the choo-choo train. Okay, so I have the two pieces of it. Interesting. I know where to find the two of them. Might combine them into a singular screenshot when the opportunity arises where it seems to be usable. Something's supposed to be laid down on this, apparently, which then powers that door, I think, that I assume doesn't open. Huh, it opened. Is that where I came from? Or is that where I came from? I mean, there's only one way to know for sure. Okay, no, you're new. Okay. Or was the door with the weird contraption not the one I came from? Surely I have to solve that, right? We have another one of these weird things. Looks like a mirror. Either a mirror or an empty portrait. Oh. Well, I know what to do with you. No? That should fit. Make sure it's 100% in the perfect spot. Okay. Maybe that's something else somehow? Despite seemingly being so conspicuously identical. I saw one. At first I thought it was a light attached to the ceiling, but when I noticed when it noticed me watching, it flew away and went through a hole in the wall. I wonder what it was. Alex is convinced it's one of the castle's ghosts, but I don't think so. I think it's something that Uncle has been working on in his tower. He still won't let me in there to find out, but I think I might have another way in. I've been reading about Lady Catherine, one of the castle's former owners. She had a thing for ghosts as well, and apparently used to lock herself away in a secret room trying to speak to them until she went crazy. And I think I found it. The room, I mean. I walked around to the back of the castle today, and there's this big section next to the second floor library that I couldn't see a way to get to. There must be a secret door somewhere. Maybe if I can get in there, I can find a way up into the tower. Or maybe the lights really are ghosts, and I'll find them hiding in her room. Won't that be something? Someone went crazy trying to speak to ghosts, apparently, in one of these rooms. Interesting. Something stood out to me at first. What was the thing that stood out to me? Oh yeah, right. It was the fact that they said that the ghosts went through the holes in the walls, which is what I thought I saw. So it seems like the ghosts are literally going through holes in walls, which seems to suggest that they are in fact, well, not ghosts then? That's my first guess, given that idea. There must be a way to make this all one continuous shape. There we go. Photo. The photo of the armor knight we saw before. Yeah, the fact that they've been witnessed by multiple people going through holes in the walls seems to suggest that they are in fact not spooky ghosts, but some sort of physical thing that has to go through holes. We're assuming that ghosts don't have to Nothing really stands out here. If we're just assuming that ghosts are supposed to be non-physical, at least. That might be all that's here. So what about the other door? You're not where I came from either. Are you where I came from? Doesn't seem like it. Is there another door? The green door, okay. That's where I came from. There's just way more doors in this room than I would have initially expected, I suppose. Is there anything left to do in here? Not that thing. I think that's the one I was just in. And we have one that we can't open until we figure out what else can be done around here. So let's check out this dinner table room. Hello. Projector. I can't slide it around for the moment. Another one. Weird. There must be, maybe you can add something to it that fits in that slot that makes it actually have a lever or something. Because these things are everywhere. Maybe it's you. That one's interesting. That one actually has arrows on it, but it seems like it's maybe blocked by something. So maybe I have to take that thing out and put it on the other ones after I solve how to move that one. Because those things are everywhere. That almost looks like a hot plate. Oh, get in there. Okay. Yeah, I think I can just... I think I can only open that by doing whatever happens on top of this thing. Because I can't seem to interact with it directly. Hello. 2 more coins for the collection. I can't even look at it again. I wanted to look at the statue a little bit. But clicking around it made me leave forever. So that is... another glass case around an object, so it's blocked off again, but this time it seems to be a fidget spinner, basically. I mean, let's not mince words, that's what it looks like, more or less. Let's try the far end if I can. We can't go to these tables. That door looks like it would just open though, right? Yeah, probably. What about you? Okay. I'm not sure if I'd say we have much to go on here. There's probably a specific constellation I'm trying to recreate. That's a dipper of sorts. Are you the North Star? The big one on the top, perhaps? So for the moment, I don't think we're getting much out of this thing. I think there's like a light here, so maybe I need to turn that on and that'll help me... Maybe it'll draw lines between them and that'll help me tell how they're supposed to connect. Otherwise, we're kind of screwed. I can't click on the light itself. And you're conspicuously locked up. You... connect the wires between the 2 sides of this room, too. Why can't I move you at all? Does this room... does the door open? It does let you in. They're letting me cover a lot of ground right now. History and legend. A historian's journey through ancient halls. EMDW Droust. Ooh, hello. Ooh. 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 There's our solution, alright? Engravings, frescoes, and panels. While most surfaces in the castle present a bare brick or wood face, a consequence of the castle's geographically and economically remote location, there are nonetheless a variety of notable details to be found for those who take the time to look. Perhaps most striking is the frequency of celestial and astrological iconography, suggesting many inhabitants of the castle have maintained a connection with the night sky. We will return to this topic in Chapter 12. Well, we won't, because we can't go to other pages. More typical designs can also be found. Take, for instance, the wood paneling shown in the following photographs, which demonstrate artwork typical of the castle and other residences in the surrounding area. Figure 1 shows a basic design, a square of 9 icons in a regular pattern. The pattern in Figure 2 is more complex. Pay particular attention to how the directionality of the icons is used to lead the viewer's eye, beginning at the top left corner and flowing one by one to the bottom right. What is unclear, however, is that if the snaking pattern is intentional or yet another example of the castle's occupants altering the aesthetics for their pleasure. So it's a snaking zigzag then that rotates back into itself. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Going to go off onto our other thing. And I'm going to open up a paint. Yep, go get off that screen. And we are going to have a nice reference on the side of my screen of that so I don't forget it. There we go. Sorry for our brief pause as I figure this out. And I'm responding to a message from somebody. The fun of trying to organize D&D and podcast sessions. That everyone every single week no one remembers what the time's supposed to be, and everyone like disagrees about when we normally do these things. It's fascinating to watch in action. Let's see. Down here. And over here. Figured we'd do this first before I get carried away exploring new stuff. Because if I leave that room right now to check this out, then I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm forgetting anything in that room, because I've never explored it at all yet. Huh? Oh. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. The weird hole in the wall. Why is there a weird hole in the wall? So that takes us back where we came from. So this is conspicuous. Oh. What? I haven't even finished exploring the room that I found the book in, and now I've got a secret and a secret and a secret with a secret and more secrets, and there's a sidetrack path within the sidetrack path. That's amazing. I'm gonna get really disoriented at this rate. It'll be fine. Look at all that tech over there. I can't even look at it. That's like the most interesting thing in the room. Hello? Oh, that's the painting. I've stolen it now. Thank you. You're mine now. Nobody can have it. Oh. I think that's all this is. Because our characters are like, barrels, I can't get past like a barrel. That's impossible. I think we're going to end up down here soon in the near future in like just normal progression. And that's how we'll check out that area. But taunting you in the distance is this painting you can't reach. And that's because you have to find that secret, I guess, to find it. Neat. But for now I need to leave and come back because our character's like, I can't go over there. There's like a little bit of a barrel and stuff in this. I'm an adventure game protagonist. We are useless. Like, it's actually like concerning how bad we are at surviving. We're almost as bad at navigating our environment for self-preservation as, oh, there we go, as the protagonist of Dark Souls 2, which had a single fallen column in his way and therefore had to get sidetracked for the entire first half of the game. Okay, yeah, I guess we'll do this again. Sounds like we almost get something at the 1000. But otherwise, I'm going to save myself some earache by not having that on the entire time, thankfully. We'll figure out what the radios do at some point, I'm sure. It's probably a plot point at this point with how much it's being reinforced now. Hello. You're one of the 2 little toys. I forgot you were one of the collectibles, to be honest. Game goes dangerously close to being a hidden object game with some of that stuff, doesn't it? Is that all we're here for? Is that object? That might be it. Just the radio. Just the radio and the figure. Huh. Yeah, because I can't go over there, can I? So that, once again, I think the same thing applies, is that's a side... We're in a side area that has a collectible hidden in it and not much else. Huh. Well then. Got really excited for a moment there about like some sort of like really crazy branching path stuff to keep track of from a navigational standpoint, but I don't think it's quite going there. Alright, so back where we found the note that helped me do all that crap. Oh, that's you. Gonna go back to poking around. This person looks so unimpressed by their string instrument. Another one of you guys. Oh yeah, back there is the, that's where it just was, over there. A 4-digit code. No use trying to brute force through that or anything, or fiddling with it. That'll come with time. Oh, no cookbooks for me. Hello. Hello. You're not a collectible, you're a mandatory thing that I use for something. Intriguing. More coins? Nope, another one I have 2. Oh. Our first ever stacking item. Establishing that that's even a mechanic, apparently. The photo of the dining room. Can't open the fridge or the freezer. What about the garbage? There's something about this place. Something old. Older even than the mortar and the stone which holds it. Something fluid. Vaporous. There's a feeling of occupation. Though the passageways are long empty. I feel an ancient aura pulsating through and outward. It's something that despite the castle's history, I am only now, as denizen, fully appreciating. Something on someone lies wake here. Something or someone lies wake here. The townsfolk love to tell stories, haunting children into obedience, but ghost stories never frighten me. Warnings that a terrible fate befalls all those who dwell here are just waves crashing on rocks. I can feel the spirits around me, speaking to me, directing my brush as it glides across the canvas. I am not fazed. I hadn't touched my oils since it happened. The tight fist of grief kept locked that part of me. But the castle is calling it out again. The art I am making is our new home, is born as some profound compulsion to understand something I cannot fully see. I am not captaining the ship as the pictures form. I know the spirits are here. The children know it too. We know we have escaped to the night place. To the right place. Maybe. God, cursive sucks. There are so many pointlessly similar letters. Christopher, I think, feels something, though is too stubborn to admit an assault on his rigid world of numbers and straight lines. But I can feel their influence on him. He has become terribly reclusive since he moved away. He hides in the tower, indulging in his own secret games. I worry about my brother. I fear the spirits are not fond of him. So this is all writing of the thrown away also, but this is a note written by the mother. Are we gonna get a note from the mother that or even her brother explaining that their parents like rose them to be like diary-taking family members, and they also rose their children to be diary-taking family members? 'Cause I'm just curious about all the diaries everyone's keeping, apparently, including both children now. Just kind of write what happens to them. So do these just go in these slots? Okay, so I need 6 of them. So far, that was off to a pretty good start from this standpoint. Although something like this threatens to be less a puzzle game and more a hidden, basically a hidden object game. Oh, there's one. Alright, 5 out of 6, just like that. Oh, last one's up there. Generally quite easy to spot. Maybe look around a little longer, though? Or is that all that's here? That might be all that's here. Just 6 gems in a room. Hello? Hello? Curious. So we've established that's what the knife goes into. But now I need to affix it to something, because it didn't just reveal that as being a thing I could stab, it just flat out came off. So I need to find the surface that it will accept it. I'm thinking it's that one weird surface on the wall that we couldn't otherwise use. Let's try that then. There you are. So now I'll do the exact same thing again, but this time it'll work. Yep. What if the wall started bleeding? Well, this... Aww. Well, this place is utterly rife with secret passages, but we lose our knife. That was just a cool thing. It would have been really repetitive to keep using it, I'm sure, but still kind of liked it. Did I come from downstairs, I think? So this is new, right? Hello? Aren't you the same painting I just stole earlier? Or I think it was a different painting at the time, but this painting specific... Oh, hello. This one is at least the same icon as the one. What's your deal, huh? Anyway, let's do this. Don't know if there's options here. Like if you're supposed to find the specific one. I pointed at that one before, didn't I? Okay. So that's worth being concerned about, is the idea that different lasers can point at, one laser might be able to point at different orbiting celestial bodies. I need to go reset the other ones though, because while I navigated around, the lasers reset. Unfortunately. Oh, I just took the shield right off. And this is why we click on things, just in case. Coins? Yep, 2 more. Coins? 2 more. It's on the same table. That's silly. Hello. What was the name of this book? Oh, Micromegas. We quoted this book during the open credits. Chapter 2. Conversation between the inhabitant of Sirius and that of Saturn. Can I zoom in more? Yep. After His Excellency laid himself down to rest, the secretary approached him. You have to admit, said Micromegas, that nature is extremely varied. Yes, said the Saturnian. Nature is like a flower bed, wherein the flowers... said the other. Leave off with flower beds. secretary began again. Nature is like an assembly of blonde and brown-haired girls whose jewels... What am I supposed to do with your brown-haired girls? Said the other. Then she is like a gallery of paintings whose features... Certainly not, said the Voyager. I say again that nature is like nature. Why bother looking for comparisons? To please you, replied the secretary. I do not want to be pleased, answered the Voyager. I want to be taught. Tell me how many senses the men of your planet have. We only have 72, said the academic, and we always complain about it. Our imagination surpasses our needs. We find that with our 72 senses, our ring, our 5 moons, we are too restricted, and in spite of all our curiosity and the fairly large number of passions that result from our 72 senses, we have plenty of time to get bored. I believe it, said Micromegas. For on our planet we have almost 1,000 senses, and yet we still have a kind of vague feeling, a sort of worry that warns us that there are even more perfect beings. I have traveled a bit, and I have 7 mortals that surpass me, some far superior, but I have not seen any that desire only what they truly need, and who need only what they indulge in. Maybe someday I will happen upon a country that lacks nothing. But so far, no one has given me any word of a place like that. The Saturnian and the Syrian proceeded to wear themselves out in speculating, but after a lot of very ingenious and very dubious reasoning, it was necessary to return to the facts. How long do you live? Said the Syrian. Oh, for a very short time, replied the small man from Saturn. Same with us. We always complain about it. It must be a universal law of nature. Alas, we only live through 500 revolutions around the sun, said the Saturnian. This translates to about 15,000 years by our standard. You can see yourself that this is to die almost at the moment one is born. Our existence is a point. Our lifespan is instant. Our planet an atom. Hardly do we begin to learn a little when death arrives before we get any experience. As for me, I do not dare make any plans. I see myself as a drop of water in an immense ocean. I am ashamed, most of all before you, of how ridiculously I figure in this world. People living for 15,000 years being like, alas, we live for so little time, and it's so unfortunate. We really, truly... Oh, God. That's alarming. Like, oh no, poor us, we've lived for so little time, and we don't even have a chance to accomplish anything, and meanwhile they're living for like 150 lifetimes by our standards. Okay, well that was creepy. So apparently there are statues everywhere, heads, and I can rotate their eyes, which makes sense because there's that one statue door somewhere. I think it was through that door or something. No, it's that one right there. So if I find all the statue heads and make their eyes rotate, they'll start glowing, and then I can go through that door, presumably, which might be a secret. I would guess that's probably a secret location and not like a mandatory progression thing. It's neat to. I'm amused by finding that because like the moment we did that quote at the beginning of the game, people were all recommending to check out that book. Supposedly, it's like one of the first major sci-fi novels or something like that. Micromegas. May have to check that out at some point. I like that it's even displayed on the table as like a trashy paperback, which is endearing.